I can't believe it, but we're already talking about winter events on today's program. Kind of that late fall into winter and such. And you're listening to the Travel Michigan Radio Show. I'm Dave Lorenz, along with George Zimmerman. And George, where are we headed to find out about those winter activities?
You know, to just a beautiful little town, one of our favorites up in northern Michigan, that's Charlevoix, to talk to Aaron Bemis, who is president of the Charlevoix Chamber of Commerce. And Aaron, this time of year, Charlevoix is charming, I guess, year-round, but kind of different this time of year as we get into snow and to winter activities. What kind of things have you got going on up there for the winter season?
You know, we really are quintessentially the quiet, small-town USA when it comes to that late fall, early winter season. You know, some of the things that we love doing are obviously surrounding the holidays. We have a community tree lighting. We do a lit Christmas parade. Those are both the day after Thanksgiving. So as you're wrapping up your time with your family and maybe spending that last little time at your cabin or getaway that you have up here with us, those are great family activities that everyone loves. I think even better come Christmas is when we're really talking about the holiday season, and we obviously are all thinking snow and ice, and we have a fabulous ski hill here in town that's great for families. It's all tow ropes. There's 5 runs. It's really kind of more of a winter sports complex because there's also our sledding hill. We've got cross-country ski trails that are lit so that you can ski at night as well or early morning. And we've got an ice rink right on site, so lots of fun. And, you know, you really can't skip New Year's Eve anywhere else. And we have a bridge in town, as most people know, a great little drawbridge that in the summer is both wonderful and frustrating at times with the boaters and the drivers competing for its time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But on New Year's Eve, we do a bridge drop. It's really just something that's totally Charlevoix and really kind of just us.
You know, Aaron, I think when I first heard that Charlevoix was doing this kind of bridge drop and not a ball drop like a lot of communities do, I just thought, perfect. You know, I've never, ever heard of that before.
Never. And you know what? It's really, I mean, for those of you that have been to Charlevoix before, you're well aware that our downtown is very quaint. It's really cute. We have fabulous restaurants and views to die for. So then you think of it in the winter when it's not so congested, when you can actually slow down a little bit and enjoy it. And yeah, the bridge goes up at 11:55 and comes down right on cue at midnight.
You know, I have every time I mention Charlevoix, people ask me about the Earl Young homes, the little, I don't know what you call them, like not Muppet houses, Hobbit houses.
You know, Hobbit houses,
yeah,
troll homes, fairy homes, mushroom homes. They're called multiple times there.
Yeah.
And it is. Earl Young was the architect behind that. And it really has become quite the tourist destination to see his works. A lot of people liken him towards Frank Lloyd Wright, but in the whimsical. Very much the same use of the stone and the curved, you know, where Mr. Wright was very much linear in his buildings and architectural renderings. Earl Young was definitely not. He was. I don't think he used a straight line anywhere.
No.
Ever. They're very unique and still very popular.
It's kind of like a Dr. Seuss type of,
feel,
architecture. It really is very different.
It is. Well, and for those of you listening that don't know what we're speaking of, Earl Young was a local architect here in Charlevoix. And long since passed. Of course, many of us will probably become famous once we're gone into the next world.
Not me.
You know, not you.
I'd have to agree.
Yeah, right.
Not
Dave. Okay. So anyway, back to Mr. Young.
Yeah. Yes. We digress.
Here.
Yes.
He's quintessentially known for his stone homes that he created, and some are buildings, and some are restaurants, and there's a hotel. But the stonework that he used, many boulders. Lots of flagstone and fieldstone, things like that, and then the curved roofs and the roof lines that are primarily cedar shake and don't have a straight line in them. They're all winding and wandering.
Very, very cute houses. I'd hate to have to maintain them, but really cool. And the nice thing is you can drive through the various neighborhoods and see many of them. Do you at the chamber? Do you have like a map telling people where to go if they want to look at them?
Absolutely do. Yep, they're available here. You can get them at our Historical Society, which has a lot of great information about them as well.
That's great. So, for the holidays, I know you mentioned the New Year's Eve bridge drop. Anything else that you want to tell people about that they might want to be aware of?
Sure. That we have community open houses, like our merchant open houses, if you need to get that last-minute Christmas shopping done. The other thing that's here in Charlevoix that a lot of people forget about is Castle Farms. Not many
that's
towns
right.
in Michigan have a castle, and
true.
Santa will actually be at the castle on December 14th.
Wow.
So another reason to get up and explore it in the winter. They do a fabulous job of decorating that property.
That's quite a booking this time of year. He's pretty busy.
Yeah.
He is.
Yep.
He's all over.
He is all over indeed. So, I think that, a lot of us, when we think of Charlevoix, because of the lake and the boating and everything else that is kind of part of your community, do think more about summer. But, you make a good point. Winter would just be a spectacular time a little slower paced, but still to enjoy just the, the beauty of the community and the scenery there.
Absolutely. It's just as stunning in the winter, if not more so, to be honest with you, because it's so quiet. It's often the unbeaten path, if you will. The pristine, glistening snow that you read about in books really does exist, and it's here.
Well, you have this quaint little town with these nice shops and galleries and such. Are most of the art galleries open even at this time of year?
Yes, especially the artists. They really are the constant in our downtown. I would say that our downtown remains about 2/3 full throughout the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely more full in the summertime, which is our peak season, like we've mentioned. But we have plenty of shops that are open. Our restaurants all remain open, and great specials throughout the winter.
Well, these days, obviously, the whole culinary tourism kind of thing, people much more interested and kind of tuned in on what's happening in the food scene in various areas. So talk a little bit about that with Charlevoix. What kind of places seem to be the kind of the stars for visitors?
Sure. What's really taking off and becoming quite popular is Royal Farms, which is just south of town. They're a farm, an orchard by trade, but have become a vineyard as well. So the wine industry is rapidly creeping up our way.
Yep.
And actually, when I was out on my boat this summer, I realized that we have another vineyard that has popped up that's quite large on Lake Charlevoix. So I'm anxious to see what's going to happen with that. From the food industry, we have some very classic restaurants that have been here for a long time that are still the big tradition. Stafford's Weather Vane is fabulous. They're right on the channel. They're a regional to Northwest Michigan brand, if you will.
And in a building designed by Earl Young.
Absolutely.
Is Earl Young, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that remains a favorite. I still think some of the quieter, less known restaurants that are probably the best in our area. Terry's Place, which is right on Antrim Street. It's connected to the Villager Pub. It's fabulous, and so many people don't even know it's there. Very, wonderful, classic, great food. It's very quiet and wonderful. Grey Gables down on the Belvedere Avenue. A favorite for sure, longtime summer visitors, always going there. But in the winter, too, talk about winter decorations.
Right.
It's an old Victorian cottage that is a restaurant, has been for many, many years. Same family of ownership for a long time. And they go all out at Christmas with their decorations over there. So
sounds great.
Definitely check that out. And the Row Inn, right down the road in Ellsworth, is consistently named to one of the top restaurants in Michigan.
Well, all of that adds up to me to a perfect place to go for a fall, early winter shopping, dining, getaway, as kind of escape weekend. And so, Aaron Bemis, president of the Charlevoix Chamber, thanks for sharing those tips with us and giving us some ideas for a great place to go in this November-December time period. And for more information, go to the website, and that's charlevoix.org for the information on the places we just talked about and the events we talked about. And Dave, there are other events also going on all over the state of Michigan.
Absolutely. In fact, next Sunday on the 3rd, there's going to be Branson on the Road coming to the Croswell Theater in Adrian. They're going to have bluegrass and rockabilly and that hand clap and gospel and all that type of music. And be a good time at the Croswell on the 3rd over in Adrian. The West Michigan Harvest Cluster AKC Dog Show is happening again at the Kalamazoo County Expo Center and Fairground. These dog shows are really popular, and the Kalamazoo County Expo Center just has so many great events all the time. So they're going to be having the show the 7th through the 10th this year, all breed show. It costs like $7, per vehicle to get in, so it's a great deal as well. So consider that. Over in Tecumseh, it is Tecumseh's holiday open house, the 8th and the 9th of November. Big holiday shopping opportunity, great little shops and cute little towns, so consider that. On the 8th and the 9th, you will enjoy it. And don't miss Dinosaur Days at the Kingman Museum, Natural History and Planetarium in Battle Creek, the 9th and the 10th. They're big dinosaur days, hands-on look of the world of dinosaurs, and so much more. Kids will love that, and so will you, on the 9th and 10th of November. Just a couple of the events happening around the state. And if you'd like more information, all you have to do is go to Michigan.org, click on the Things to Do section up top, and then on Events, and you'll find information on all that. We're going to find out what's happening up in the UP at the Sioux next, right here on Travel Michigan, where your trip begins at Michigan.org.